Welcome friends. First of all, I am thankful to you for your overwhelming response on my mobile, on my email ID as well as comments on my website. As of now, I am getting large number of queries relating to admissibility of the voice and the video calls which are being recorded into the mobile. The main questions which comes to me are relating to these voice and the video recordings are whether these are admissible in the court, whether the original mobile phone containing the audio and the video calls is required to be filed in the court, whether such mobile phone is required to be retained or produced at the time of the evidence. So in this brief session, we are going to discuss these issues, how to prove the mobile phone recording in the court, and we will also discuss what is the best way to make such evidence admissible in the court. So the first question which is always comes is whether the mobile phone recording are admissible under Indian law. So when we talk about the mobile phone recording, we can say these recording falls into two categories: audio recordings and video recordings. So I want to clarify you that both of these recordings are admissible in law. They are covered within the definition of electronic record and admissible under section 3 of the Indian Evidence Act. So now there are catena of judgment of High Court and Supreme Court which clearly says that these recordings are admissible provided the conditions for the admissibilities are satisfied. So now we come to the one of the main prominent question, that whether the original mobile phone which contains audio files, which contains video files, is required to be filed in the court of law or not. So you have two alternatives. The alternative one is that you can deposit the original mobile phone containing the voice call in the court. So this original recording would be admissible by virtue of section 62 of the Indian Evidence Act as a primary evidence. The second alternative you have is to transfer these audio and video recording on the CD and file the CD in the court of law with a certificate under section 65B of the Evidence Act. In one of the recent judgment of the Supreme Court in the matter of Anwar PV, the Supreme Court has held that any secondary evidence which is either in a CD, DVD, if it is filed without a certificate under section 65B, it would not be admissible. So make sure if you are filing the audio and video recording on the CD, file a certificate under section 65B in a proper format, complying the conditions mentioned into the section 65B of the Evidence Act. The second question which always comes is whether the mobile phone which contains original audio and the video recordings is required to be preserved. So the answer is yes. See, why it is important to preserve? The first reason is, if during cross-examination or any of the court proceeding a question comes as to the authenticity of the recording, then how would you prove? So it would be a challenge for you. And again, the opposite party can come with an allegation that you have forged the audio or video clips or some of its content. So then the audio and video clips which you have filed in the court would lack admissibility, would lack the proof because of the authenticity. And section 4 and section 7 of the Information Technology Act also provides that the original is required to be preserved. So section 4, which deals with the legal recognition of electronic record, clearly says that an electronic record would be equivalent to a physical document provided it is into an electronic form and subsequently accessible. So that means if you have filed the audio and the video clip before an authority or before a court of law, then you are supposed to preserve the original, which should be subsequently accessible. Similarly, Section 7 of the Information Technology Act, which deals with the retention of electronic records and provide the condition for the admissibility of the records which is retained by any person, also have the same condition that it should be in electronic form and subsequently accessible. So you should make sure that the original should be preserved. In the absence of preservation of original, the admissibility and authenticity may become a challenge. Now, another question which comes particularly during the cross-examination and the for proving the authenticity is whether we need to show the original mobile phone during the evidence or not. See, for that we need to understand about the proving of audio and video files in the court. For proving, you require basically two aspects. The first aspect is admissibility, which is that under Section 65B of the Evidence Act or Section 62, depending upon whether you are filing the original or you are filing a copy. There is a second aspect, which is even more important than the admissibility issue, is the authenticity, veracity, or reliability of the evidence. So authenticity means whether the audio and video calls are authentic. That means whether they are forged or genuine. Veracity means the content which is contained therein is correct or as written by the author. Reliability is to what extent the court can rely upon the audio and video recordings as an evidence. See, as far as the admissibility is concerned, if you are filing a copy along with the certificate under Section 65B, there is no issue, it would be admissible, and the production of original is not required at all. Thus, coming to the second aspect, authenticity, veracity, and reliability. Now, if a party object and make an allegation that your audio and video recording have been forged, manipulated, in absence of the original, proving the authenticity may not be very easy. So it is always in your favor that you should file the original recording to prove the authenticity, veracity or reliability. But still, even if you have filed the original recording, the party may make an allegation that this has been tampered. So the best way is, if you have a recording in your mobile, get it forensically examined from an expert and file the recording along with the expert opinion in the court to rule out any possibility of tampering or manipulation of the audio and video recording. Now coming to the last aspect, what should be the best method and best approach? See if we have to file the original mobile in the court, it becomes very difficult because it's very costly. It contains our other data also. Second issue comes if you have made number of recording into the mobile and its memory get filled, then you have to remove them to make the further recording. So the best way is, if you have to use recording, either audio or video, purchase a mobile which has a slot for the extra memory card. Now you have a choice, you can put in extra memory card of any size as per your requirement. So then you can use that mobile phone for making the recording on memory card. So make sure that you need to change the setting that whenever you are making the recording, it should be on the memory card. The moment recording is made and memory card is full, you can always take it out and preserve. You want to make extra recording, you can put another memory card. So now for proving, again as we have discussed, you have both the method. You can submit the original memory card or copy into the CD. You are not required to to submit the original mobile phone if you are submitting the original memory card in the court. So the best way is, when you have taken the memory card out, get it forensically examined from an expert, take an opinion as to the continuity of the audio or video clips, as to the manipulation or fabrication. Then you can file the original memory card along with the expert opinion in the court. And I am telling you, challenging this piece of evidence, which is the original memory card, contains the original audio video clip, would be very difficult for the opposite party. The court can simply rely upon this evidence, and conviction can be solely on the basis of this piece of evidence. So thank you very much. Even if you have any other question, you are free to send your comment on my website, which is www.neerajaarora.com. Thank you very much.